psychic impressions. It still has to be, unless you're an unconscious channel, it has to be processed through your own thinking processes. So you're going to have your own opinions based on your experiences as to what you're getting. And if you have very few life experiences, it's going to make it much harder to know what you really are getting. And you could say things that create extreme harm because your interpretation is wrong. And here's a perfect example. I absolutely believe that you should say everything you get in a reading, because if you censor because you assume that the person won't be able to handle the information, then this is what happens. Several years ago when I first got started, and I shouldn't say first got started, because I really got started at about 15. But when I started when I was new professionally, I was still in my late 20s or early 30s, but I'd had some counseling background, but I was really not fully trained. I had a woman come to me, and immediately I picked up that her son was gay. And I projected on her that she wouldn't be able to handle it. And I kept resisting saying something about it. And I kept resisting, but my guides kept pushing it on me until I got nothing else but that. So I would have had to been sitting there looking pretty stupid or say it. And so I finally said to her, I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable, but I'm picking up that your son is gay. And she says, I was waiting for you to say something. That was one of my test questions. And I almost didn't say it. And I should have learned from that. There were other times I tried to censor, and I'm very lucky because my guides wouldn't let me. So I just tried very hard to not throw my own judgments. And this isn't saying that I have an issue with anybody being gay. But I come from a period where a lot of people did. And so I made the assumption that this mother would. And so when we make assumptions about anything, when we censor things because our filter says something, or we don't know how to present the data in a way that does not engender a horrible response from the person, then we can do more harm than good. And I feel like I should be a doctor with their creed that they profess, do no harm, because I really believe that no matter what I do, that has to be the most important thing, that I do no harm, that the person leaves me, whether they want the information or not, that they leave me with information that will give them some value, and that I haven't harmed them in giving it.
Can you address it from the side of the psychic? Because I've noticed in some of these shows with the younger psychics how emotional the psychics become, and that they will cry or become extremely nervous and sweaty.
And this is one of the reasons I absolutely believe that anybody that works in this field should have a degree in counseling of some sort, and should have had training in how not to take on this stuff personally. If these people keep taking it on to the point that they are becoming totally emotionally devastated by what they're picking up, if they don't learn the detachment, the shutting off of this, they can't last. And where this came from was many, many years ago, I went to a wonderful psychic named Thelma Beecher. She's long dead, or I wouldn't give you her name. And she was really well known and very accurate. And the first thing she said to me when I walked in is, "You will be a psychic." And I said, "No, I won't." And she said, "Yes, you will. So I'm going to tell you something that I had to learn the hard way. You have to learn to detach." She said, "I've had 4 nervous breakdowns and attempted suicide twice. If you don't learn how to shut this off, you won't make it. The more psychic you are, the more empathic you are. The more you pick up people's illnesses, their hopes, their fears, their pain. And if you don't know how to detach, you can't decipher what's yours from theirs.